Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. If you're watching us on Facebook.com, go to Facebook.com/D Feazell, but you can find us syndicated on television. Yeah. Rob Patz, thank you so much for making that happen. It's Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And again, all the social media sites. Continue sending emails, by the way. A lot of emails are about, how do I save money, Donna? How do I save in my personal life and my business life? So we're about to get to that in just a few seconds. But continue sending emails to Donna@donnasedge.com. So I have Lisa Wynn with me right now. And Lisa and I have been having a good time before the show. You should have been here before the show. So you can imagine what this show is going to be about. Yes. And I'm going to tell you what, saving my business a dime. I'm going to listen to you big time. So let's talk about your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me today. It's great to be here with you and get exposure to your audience. So my business is a franchise called Schooley Mitchell. I opened it about a year ago here, but the business framework has been around for almost, I think, over 20 years. And so we are cost reduction experts. So we focus on reducing business expenses for organizations of all shapes and sizes.
Well, that's the way to go. I'm just telling you, because you can make all the money in the world, but if money is being, you're not even on to what it's being spent on. It could be subscriptions. It could be all kinds of things, right?
It can be all kinds of things. Yeah. So we have 15 cost categories. So we focus on some of the big ones are telecommunications, so think wired, wireless, and internet. And we have like credit card, merchant card processing, credit cards, debit cards.
That can be really a cost.
They can be really a cost. And, it's a trend for people to pass it on to the customer these days, but there's still a lot of companies who don't do that. And how can we help them reduce that expense? We do things like all kinds of supplies. So packaging supplies, office supplies, break room supplies, and facility supplies. So as you might imagine, cleaning. So if you break down what those are, packaging is obvious, boxes, and other, bubble wrap, etc. Office supplies, pens, paper. Break room tends to be more takeaway food or food related things, but and sometimes we're able to save restaurants in that area as well, which kind of falls under packaging as well as break room. And then facility tends to be a lot of cleaning, mops, etc. We do uniforms, uniforms and linens. So restaurants,
so that could be dry
hotels,
cleaning the uniforms.
Yes, it can be the cleaning of the uniforms, the procuring of the uniforms themselves, which might be branded or have logos and things like that, as well as the cleaning of them. One of my clients gets rugs from the service provider and those are cleaned and taken away with their logo, and they're big and they're hard to deal with, right? You think hotels and restaurants have napkins and tablecloths and bed linens and things like that, and so So that's one of the categories we do.
Well, in every office, we would hire new employees. We would say, okay, the restroom is there, the coffee is there. The two most important parts. Even is something like a coffee vendor.
Yeah. Yep. Coffee vendors. And the other big thing that people usually point out to the new hire is where the supply closet is. And we recently published an article about the cost of supplying your supply closet, right? So are there ways to give, put less supplies in there and optimize what you have available so that your employees have what they need, but don't maybe have everyone's favorite pen in the closet, right? And one-offs like that, but more have, what will be functional for us as as an office. And that could be an office of 10 or an office of 1,000. So
yeah. Right. I mean, just the things you just really don't think about. Let's talk about salespeople, okay? Because I was a salesperson with GTE for a number of years.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, but now I was on this budget, and I actually would make an extra commission for keeping my costs down.
Yes.
So you would have thought I owned it the way I treated my expense account.
Which is, you are a great employee, and we wish all employees.
Yeah, but I wanted those bonuses.
We wish all employees were that way. In my past life as an accounting executive.
So you know what I'm talking about. Yes. But now, how can the owner of a business or the manager or whoever is in charge, how can they be on top of things? They need you, because I mean, they have enough responsibilities, right?
That would be my argument, is that they need my help. Because most likely they are focused on what they do best, which is either out developing their business and finding new customers, or developing new products, or delivering those products, or they're focused on the cost of the thing that they deliver, whether that's consulting and the salaries of their consultants, or it's widgets that they sell as a manufacturing company and the buying from a vendor. So we tend to focus on more of the operating expenses that have a few things about them that make them special. One, you get the bill every month or so, and there's a lot of details and a lot of information, and you just don't have time this month, and you think, next month I'll do it. Next month I'll do a detail review, and I'll make sure it's all right.
Just tell me.
And then 30 days later, you get another one, and you're like, next month. And then also, so it's just not your primary focus, and which isn't to say that you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It's just that you're so busy and you have so many things, and you don't want to spend your nights and weekends worrying about your cell phone bills or your credit card fees or, those types of things. You want to spend your nights and weekends doing something more productive. So
your business is your business. I know, because I own one.
Yeah.
So it's, the key is making a profit.
Yes.
But I can't make a profit if I'm wasting and I don't know I'm doing
and you
it.
don't
That's
even
where
know
you're
it.
coming in.
Yeah. Well, and some of the vendors that we work with are, just have a notorious habit of just having errors, and it's not even intentional necessarily on their part, but they'll go against what's in your contract, or they'll add a fee after your contract time. When you signed your contract, that fee didn't exist, and then they add it later. Or they will just not be competitive because you've been with them for so long, right? Like, you've been with this vendor for 7 years.
I know, Susie. That's one of those things.
And we try not to change your vendor, but because you don't necessarily have all the data, like, you don't know what the best deals are. Because again, do you have time to research the latest and greatest across 15 cost categories? Maybe one, right? But we have expertise in-house, knowledge in-house, system pieces, right? Where we have a database of things that help us, a database of deals that we've negotiated.
Right, that you would know, I wouldn't know.
That we don't know, you wouldn't know, but we know, and we're able to go to that vendor and say, hey, we negotiated this great deal. And we wouldn't necessarily tell who the other clients are, but we've seen this before. So we're able to
lose a client.
Yeah, and we're able to keep the vendor sort of accountable, right, to what we know they've provided other customers, and also to make sure we optimize. Because I say cost reduction, and I always want to say cost optimization specialists, because we not only look at it for reduce the cost, just to reduce the cost, right? Like, sure, you can get cell phone service for cheaper, but is that cell phone service going to be in the locations you need, with the right data plans, with the right phone devices that you need for your employees? Well, no, not all of them. Every cell phone, you know this very well from your past life, every cell phone provider is not built the same. And there's nothing, they all have their different points of value. So what's the right thing for the business? And so it's not just cost reduction for the sake of cost reduction.
I totally get it. And then you have an outreach of people that where you can help. So if someone needs, say, I don't know, computers or whatever, well, then you're going to be able to hook them up with the right person. But she really cares about the client. She
I
really need to
do.
be listening to this.
I do. Yeah. So
And share it. I
I
have friends who are
don't-
business owners.
I don't solve, I can't solve every cost problem that a client might mention to me, right?
Mhm.
They might say, oh, my commercial insurance is really high, or I need to replace all the computers for my employees, or I need to do, some other activity. I need
Mhm.
to, cater a lunch, and
Mhm.
I can't handle catering lunch. I mean, I could probably order some great food from somewhere, but, but those aren't necessarily.
Honey Baked Ham is who she'd go to.
Exactly, I would. Honey Baked Ham. They have great catering. The reality is that I can't provide everything. We have certain things that we've refined our expertise in,
Mhm.
but I am building my network and have a network already, and continue to build my network to know people who can solve that problem, right? And that's actually how we met, was in a group that is a networking group where I know different people, and am able to have a solution for my client, even if it's not me.
Well, you can save a company from going under. I mean, because really, you're so busy. I know, because I've been in business ownership for decades. And I'm just telling you, I know you get so buried in the business that you're not thinking about, that, well, I pay my cell phone bill on time.
Yes.
And cell phone companies are notorious for this. Okay, I'm not just picking on them. I know, because I've worked with one. They'll offer these deals for new customers that they don't offer to existing customers. And I'm just telling you, an existing customer is worth fighting for.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we try very hard, and are often, I think 80% of the time, successful in keeping a client with their current vendor and negotiating better pricing.
Yeah, but see, you don't go through the chain of command. I have to go through like the receptionist. Then I have to go through this person. Then I say, well, we can't handle. Then they're going to hang up on me accidentally. Then I got to start all over again. I got to call the receptionist again. Yeah. And then I go up the chain. But you don't have to go through all that
we're able. We have built relationships with the vendors, and it's important for me to say that while we've built relationships with the vendors, we are completely independent of them. Meaning, we do not get any compensation from any vendor. So which allows us to build those relationships with the vendor in a positive way, to say, how do we service our mutual client and still remain looking out for the best of our customer, right? So not meaning, I don't want to pick the vendor that gives me the best, commission or kickback or anything like that. I want to pick the best services and products for my client, which happens to also be their client.
Well, and you know this too, because let's say I go to ABC Widget Company, okay, and they're a cell phone vendor. Okay, so what people don't understand is that they'll call their customer service. They're going to get somebody at the bottom of the totem pole. I don't mean that in a bad way. I've had to start at the bottom on every job I've ever had.
Of course.
But you have to work your way up. When you're at the bottom and you're the person who answers the phone initially at a company like that, I'm not going to have the power to do all the stuff that may be the person that you're going to
we can call. Yeah. We're going a few layers above and have that relationship. And we have that ability to say, hey, we know that you've given, this pricing, and we want you to share that pricing with our other clients.
I'm going to let her leave my business. She's staying here. You can't have her. No, really, you need someone like Lisa to do this for you, because I'm just telling you, especially when it comes to a company like a cell phone business. You got to, and a bank is that way as well. I mean, you got to go through it. Okay, so somebody got into my debit card. And of course, it was at Christmas time, the busiest time of the year, when I had no time. This is several years ago, like 10 years ago. We're living in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow.
And I mean, I had to go from the receptionist on. They would not give me the contact person. And I would say, look, you're treating me like I've done something wrong. I haven't. Someone got into my account and, and spent like $500 at Walmart, and it wound up being $20,000 or $2,000.
Oh, gosh.
So it was a mess. But you would have saved my life. I would have said, Lisa.
Yeah, for sure. And that, that can happen.
But there are little fees on banking.
There's all kinds of fees. There's just fees in everything. I feel like, I hate to say this because I don't mean it ill towards vendors, but there's all this nickel and diming, right? Like this little fee and that little fee. I sometimes wish you would just tell me, would you just tell me how much it costs? But yeah, they layer in fees, and sometimes, those fees don't apply, or it's for a service you're not using. Like, that's one of the biggest things we find is that people are paying for things that they ordered, ages ago, and they're not actually using it. And
they've gone to something else.
So we use software to kind of track that and say, hey, you don't need this service anymore because you're just not using it. Right. I love waste. Waste is a great example. Another cost category that we do. If your business is filling up your dumpster to overflowing and only gets picked up once a week, you're paying for that. You're paying an overage to the garbage company, the collection company, because your bin is overflowing. So do you need a bigger bin? Do you need more pickups? These are the types of optimizations that we do to help you save your money.
Well, and different employees do different things as well.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
It's like feeling me. Okay, I'm basically out. Okay,
Yeah.
and I love being out. So I get to spend with people, and he gets a relief from me too. So that works out for both of us. But now what he does is very functional because I couldn't have a show without him.
Right.
So he does all the editing and all those things. So where I need good cell phone service, where I'm out, he can be right here. It doesn't matter. So maybe he and I could have two different data plans.
You could have two different data plans and possibly two different minute plans, right? And your plans could just be different. Even though you're on the same company plan, your company account, your plan can be different, and we can fine tune that for you. And if I know you don't have other employees, but if you did, right, all your other employees, your sales team is not the same as your accounting team. Right. It's not the same as your marketing team, right? So it's really important to carry that through and to figure out, okay, what's the best structure and setup, and how do we optimize it for the needs of the client?
Yeah, each individual,
and everyone is different.
Absolutely. Yeah, because your tasks are different. We went past the commercial break.
Oh, well, let's take a break then.
That's okay. We'll be right back in just a minute. So y'all hang in there, okay? Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring. But the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Because of your overwhelming support, our 1488 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing, including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.
Good afternoon. We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. Get it out in just a minute. You can find us syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We're with Lisa Wynn, and I'm going to say, you're a treasure girl.
You're a treasure.
But no, you're not located just right. I mean, you can manage businesses like what if I have a business here, but headquarters is in Nashville?
Yeah, I do not have a region, so which just means that I can help companies and organizations. I can help nonprofits too, so I always have to remember to say organizations throughout the United States and into Canada, actually. Other locations get a little more harried, but I have a broad base, which is perfect for me because I spent most of my career in Atlanta and only recently relocated to South Carolina. So I have a lot of contacts in the Atlanta area and am trying to leverage a lot of those. And so, but it's great because just like you said, I have clients that are in more than one location. So they may have something in South Carolina, but headquarters is in a different place, or they have other locations in different places. So, a lot of franchises have a territory. And quite honestly, one of the reasons I picked this franchise as my next chapter is the lack of territory, because it's a pretty big deal to be able to leverage your network no matter where they are. We're in a small world now.
Yeah. Because you have communications and all those things. Let's talk about old equipment, because old Donna here wants to keep the same laptop that I had that weighs 10 tons, which may not be efficient now.
Right.
Odds are it's not.
Probably not. They get outdated. So
you mean we don't have the 3.5 floppies anymore?
Oh no, we don't.
We've moved on.
It's funny that you say that. I have a USB stick that doesn't want to work anymore. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And then I realized I've probably worn the thing out. I've had it forever. And I was like, I guess I'll be stopping at Office Max or whoever and getting
she's not old enough to remember this, but there was a day, young child, that we had the 5.5 floppies.
Oh, I remember those.
And so what we did, we had these Nextel locations, and before everyone would leave, they would have to download everything and put it on that floppy drive, and it would take forever in heaven's day to do that.
I remember doing my schoolwork on encyclopedias.
Youngsters just don't know.
No, but I had an encyclopedia. Literally, and my parents bought this whole thing of encyclopedias. They still have it at their house.
I love encyclopedia.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I think it's a lost.
It's an art.
A lost skill to research things, because now you just ask ChatGPT or whoever, Google or whoever, somebody, hey.
But this is the prepper in me. I think, what if something happened to the grid?
Right.
I've got to find information I've just made that way.
Well,
I've got a library. So
there's so many of those movies that just are scary when you think about it. If something did happen to the grid, you couldn't buy gas, you couldn't, because you're using your card, right? Yeah, I mean, it's very frightening.
Well, that brings me to another, because I'm always talking electrical. So
Yes.
I've noticed our electricity is much cheaper here that we moved here than it was in Alabama. It was horrible in Alabama. It was just terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have a company who could grow like really fast,
Mm-hmm.
and aren't, and just, like, educate me on this. So, so electricity within a company, is it, do you pay like kind of like in tiers? So in other words, I'm not paying, I'm sure, by wattage like Walmart is.
Right.
They probably get much less than I do.
Yeah. I am not a utilities expert, but I know someone who is. But
That's what I was going to say.
But business expenses like that are so seasonal too, right? So like, yes, sometimes they have tiered plans. Some it depends on the provider, of course, because if you're in a small town, they might not have all this fancy stuff from your provider. If you're in a more national, an area where there's a more national provider, then you probably do. But utilities, watching the utility expenses can be a big deal. And I do know someone who audits utilities, kind of like we do audit other expenses.
I knew a guy in Alabama who used to do that. So if he's still doing that, he may have retired out.
And one of the things that we have in common with people who do that is that our fees are self-funded from our savings. So if you hire me, Donna, and I come in and I look at your business expenses and I don't find any savings, I come back and I say, Donna, you as a business owner, you're doing a great job. You've been able to, I couldn't find anything better.
You'll never say that in your mouth.
But if I could, right? If I could,
let's dream.
Then I would say that, and you would pay me nothing. We would have there would be no fee. And so, if I did come back and say, hey, Donna, I found savings, then we would share in that savings. But
lose that.
But it's really a risk-free, opportunity.
Can't lose.
Yeah.
You've got to call her.
Yeah. I might just come and tell you you're doing a great job. Yeah. Whoever you are, business owner out there.
And you got to give her a chance.
When we were talking earlier, it's not just business owners, right? You could be a CFO at a company. You could be the IT manager.
You could be the hero.
You could be the hero, right? You don't have to be the business owner, but if you are in charge of a budget or in charge of the profitability of a business, you can use our services and we can help you shine, right? And we do this in order to help you, take something off your plate so you can focus. Maybe you have a long list of priorities and, this is at the bottom, but we could take it off your plate and give you a win.
I'm just telling you, when we had these Nextel stores, we had 2 area managers who were over everything. And then we had a CFO. But we had these 2 would have been heroes in my eyes had they called you.
Right.
And said, and this is back when cell phones used to cost more to use than they did.
Yes.
So, I mean, you could be the hero of your company.
Yeah.
You got to call her.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't have to be business owner. It can be, and I alluded to this earlier, we can help businesses. We can help not-for-profits. I love helping not-for-profits from the standpoint of, yes, they're not for profit because so they're not as worried about profitability increasing, but those dollars, instead of going to pay for these types of services, can go to the ministry that they're trying to do. And so they can
collecting
help more
coats
people.
For kids,
exactly. They can
toys,
help more people
Christmas.
and do better, do better for people in the community.
They can spend his money the way they want to spend
the way they really want to spend it on the ministry that they're trying to do, which is the same. And the business owners, I've seen business owners give, raises to employees that they didn't think they were going to be able to do, or a bonus, or buy a piece of machinery that they've really wanted to invest in their business but couldn't.
Buy me a pizza. I'd be happy. I'll save you some money.
I'll save you some money for pizza.
There you go. Okay. You know what? 30 seconds left.
Okay.
What would you like to tell everybody?
I would just like to thank you so much for the opportunity to come on the show and have exposure to your wonderful audience. And please do call me. I can help you save money and increase your profitability, or buy a jet ski. One of the 2.
There you go. One of the 2, whatever you want to do. But thank you. You're right. This is right up our alley, right? You like saving money, so you got to give Lisa a call. Thank you so much for watching. This is the reason we do this, is to help you out and help your business. And thank you again so much for being with us. Continue sending emails. I love them. I treasure each one. Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. Thanks for watching.